Hello, people. It's your Usmaan back again with another Rival Fan podcast. As always, we have got a fantastic panel for you guys. Make sure you drop a like, subscribe, get your comments in, get your abuse in for Alex here, leave Alex and mate. So yeah, it is what it is. I'll put him on screen this time. I was a bit protective last week as it was his first show, but man's off the debut in it, so all the abuse is gonna come your way now. It is what it is. Anyways, as I already mentioned, Alex, the Manchester City fan, we've got to just let people know that. How you feeling, man? Some good news for your club, which we will be touching upon very shortly. But how are you feeling, anyways?
Yeah, it's been an all right week. Or is it third week of lockdown? Football, past international week. Premier League's back this weekend. Life couldn't be better.
So no more. And also, we have got the man in the other corner, as you can see from the title, Pep against Jose. It's not quite the El Clasico, to be fair. It's two dead teams. But, we still have to cover it. It is what it is. We've got Kish. How you feeling?
Yes. What I do. We good. Back-to-back days this week.
Yeah, you love to see obviously, Kish, man's, I've got you grafting and I've got you on the payroll at the moment.
Yeah.
And also, we are joined none other than Building Blocks himself, a.k.a. Eyes on the Ball. Daniel, bro, how you doing? You're muted. Daniel. Daniel, you're muted.
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. How you all doing?
Yeah, not too bad. And obviously, last but not least, you guys already know him. He's 1/3 of 3 in midfield. Kodo! Listen, we missed you in the quiz, man. I see you in the comments. For Biggs and that. I kind of rigged the questions so you could get the answers, but you weren't even there. So,
I can't lie.
I'm keeping the payment, though, obviously, in it, boys. How are you feeling, Coach, man? How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm gutted that I missed that quiz, though, because I was answering questions quickly. I was like, I should be there. I really, really should be there right now.
Should I tell you what my highlight was, Coach? Like, genuine highlight. When both his teammates said the right answer, and then boss said, "Nah, who got with Juventus?" And it was like, "Where did you get Juventus from? No one even mentioned Juventus." And you, boy, during the conversation, and she's locked in, and it was Benfica. I was like, "Oh my god, boss!" I didn't even bother messaging him after. I thought, "Okay, I can't be asked." But it is what it is. Anyways, we're here to discuss this weekend's fixtures. I know normally we react to them, but it should be a bit of a difference. I'm not even going to bother with the internationals because without Sally Rude, I couldn't give two shits. The only thing I really care about is the amount of injuries and the amount of COVID cases. So I feel like we should start with that first and foremost. Kish, I've got a feeling you got an opinion on this, so I'll pass it to you. Do you think it was wise for international duty during a pandemic?
Honestly, pardon my French, but it's fucking pathetic. It is actually a fucking joke. I'll be honest. Or like Salah, he goes to Egypt. Oh, he's got COVID. Oh, what a shock! He's travelled 3,000 miles or wherever it is. Got COVID. Oh my god, what a surprise! Other players as well. Goes to bloody Istanbul or Saudi Arabia. Got COVID. Oh my god, what another shock! 2,000 miles. No shit. It is literally. It's an absolute joke, man. Like, I don't understand what is the purpose around these international friendlies. It makes no sense. Okay, fair enough. For international manager, he needs to see his players, cohesion, all that. But we're in a fucking pandemic. We're in a pandemic. Why would you travel your players 2,000-3,000 miles? And then when it comes out that they've got COVID, the managers are complaining, the team's complaining, like the officials are complaining. But it's like you've only got yourselves to blame. It makes zero sense. It's getting to the stage now with the Premier League, and probably in the Championship as well, where so many teams are losing their players. Although it's 1 or 2 games. For example, with Liverpool, they've got 2 or 3 players that are out for COVID. I know it's only one game, but again, what if that game was a title decider, for example? What if that was the game that would be the difference? And then what? You can't reschedule the game.
We're gonna have it in March again as well.
Exactly. It's pathetic. It's gonna get to the point where you're gonna have probably some teams, like say Burnley, for example, who are already struggling squad depth wise. They might have to play youth members who are like 16, 17 years of age. What choice would you have? Sheffield United, for example, their squad depth is already lacking. Say if one of their top end players went out and then COVID, then they might have no choice but to bring someone in from the academy. Which again, it's a positive for an academy player, but to bring someone in when it's not a full strength team and all of that, it's a joke. It's an absolute joke, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I think Elneny actually got COVID as well. You know, both the Egyptian lads.
Yeah, exactly. And he's world class. They need him in midfield for that, spraying them 30-yard passes like Scholes. Do you know what I mean? There's no creativity without Elneny. So you see the issues that Arteta's having, poor lad.
Oh my God, this guy. I swear to God, if you lose on the weekend,
I'm ghosted.
Yeah.
I'm ghosted. I'm off.
Yeah,
I'm
off.
I'm
off. But Coach, what do you reckon? Because obviously, look, I understand the Nations League game because, you know, you kind of have to play them. Of course, you're doing it. Although they technically could have pushed them to another time. I don't know, just got rid of them completely or whatever it is. But, like, do you even care about international? Without sounding disrespectful, apart from Scotland, and Scottish fans, obviously, they won something, as we know from Bob's. But do you even think there's any need for it at this point in time?
No, there's certainly no need for the Nations League. They're trying to make it a very important competition, but in this current climate where you're forcing players to play pretty much games every 3 days, they need their rest. They need to be rested. They need to avoid any sort of chance of getting COVID, because you talk about staying in bubbles. But then suddenly it's for 2 weeks. You can go and leave the country, go and play against this many players as much as you want.
Exactly, and then they're not even isolate when they come back. Hypothetically speaking, all the players that haven't got COVID, just loads of them, they're not even isolated. Like, well, how does that work? So, us normal human beings have to go on holiday and isolate for like 2-3 weeks. But apparently, these footballers, they don't have to isolate for whatever reason.
It's a week.
Yeah, so it's just
either way.
But what was that?
No, I said either way, it's just bullshit, isn't it?
Yeah, it's stupid. And then obviously pointless injuries as well. You got players again playing every 3 days, and then they get picked to go and play for their country, and they're playing 90 minutes or minimum 70. At some point, they're gonna suffer. So all in all, it just doesn't add up. They didn't need games.
Not gonna lie though, surprise, it's the Premier League that's always got the players with the problems, and then when you go to the Euros, England again will be complaining and blaming everyone under the sun apart from their own organization. So really and truly, I mean, at the beginning of the season, everyone was, and this is what I'm saying, like, it comes down to looking at the bigger picture kind of thing. At the beginning of the season, everyone was like, no, 5 subs. If the big teams have 5 subs, they have the squads. Yeah. They have the squad for it, but 5 subs is what we actually need. Every team needs 5 subs right now. Like, it's really unbearable. Obviously, there's no doubt every little thing that has happened in football, or every decision that's been made during COVID, has given someone an advantage over another. However, there's no line. You can't really draw a line on who's got the advantage. We're already playing in different circumstances. So giving every team the possibility of having 5 subs so that they can rotate their squad makes it so much easier. So
I disagree with that.
That's fair enough.
Why do you disagree with that?
I think that the reason why is what annoys me the most is the managers that are saying it, like Pep and Klopp. They don't even use all in that last match, City v Liverpool. Yeah, he used 1 sub out of his allocated 3, and then he's arguing about 5 subs. How fair enough if you use your 3 subs, right? True. And there's still time left, then fair enough, it makes complete sense. But my guy used 1 sub, and he's arguing about that limit. I think it makes no sense.
I think it's more to do with the possibility of, fair enough, cool. There is the one side of it where you use 1 sub.
You let him use it 2 if he's got 5, doing Pep.
Fair enough, but I mean, on the flip side, knowing that you have 5 subs means that the next game you can literally play someone for only about 50 minutes and then take them off. Do you get what I'm saying? Because if just look at it like this, I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not saying
that ruins the flow of the game, doesn't it? 15 minutes and then a sub. That's
15, 50.
Oh, okay. I was going to say
not 15.
I'm saying the Man City fan Pep will do something like that.
For real. But it's like just the flip side, and it's just a thought anyway. I'm not saying it definitively, but it's like if the Bruyne plays against Liverpool and then they've got a game against Leeds, for example, the next game, he wants to play him 90 minutes against Liverpool and then thinks, 2 days later we've got Leeds, going to be a tough game. Let me take him off in this game so that I can use him in another game, kind of thing. But because you don't have 5 subs, kind of thing, you know you have to play your best players in every single game because points are there.
But then, don't you think that it gives the lower team a chance to close the divide? Because Burnley, for example,
I don't agree.
Burnley doesn't have that. Do you not
agree with that? And the reason I've seen this argument being played out on social media a lot. Obviously, a lot of the pundits and the talks will say it doesn't help the lower teams. But you've got to bear in mind the lower teams are playing once a week. They're playing one game a week. And again, I know the top teams have bigger squads and more quality in depth, such as Man City, even Man United to an extent, Chelsea and so forth. So it does benefit them, don't get me wrong, of course it does. However, what about fatigue? Like, fatigue is such a huge factor in football that we completely disregard. Maguire, just as an example, and Saka as well. They've played, Saka, by the way, has played Thursday, Sunday, right? For 2 weeks on the bounce, so 4 games, and then played 3 games for England. So he's played 7 games in about 20 days. Forget Maguire, because he's a centre-back. Saka's played 7 games in about 22 days.
But then again, my defence to that is, I saw a stat the other day where the top 6, so the provisional top 6 years, Spurs, Chelsea, Arsenal, etc. Out of all the games that have been played so far, only twice has a team used their 3 subs. So then again, that again defies the point. But that's because do you know what I mean, though?
No, but that's because, and I'll tell you why that is. And this is from a Man United perspective, and I'm sure Kojo will probably agree with this. I can't remember which game it was, but we made 2 subs in the game, right? And we were chasing the game practically every game this fucking season. But we were chasing the game, and everyone was like, "Why is he not making the 3rd sub? Why is he not making the 3rd sub?" A few minutes later, Luke Shaw goes down injured. Because he's just fucking dead. Like, fatigue-wise, you can't make the 3rd sub because you know one of your players. There's a chance one of them might pull their muscle because they're playing that many games. Yeah, so you basically got 2 subs unless you're dead, like you're losing 2-0 and you just roll the dice completely. Yeah. But you can't use that 3rd sub.
The problem I have with 5 subs though, I think it's related to we can't go to games even if we wanted to. It just makes it feel like endless pre-season friendlies, you know, when they're on tour in America. I just don't like seeing everyone coming on the pitch and the whole team swapping.
That's sick.
I love bit of consistency.
It's like imagine Mourinho at Spurs. We're 1-0 up against whoever.
5 defenders.
Exactly. Imagine him in the 89th minute bring on 5 defenders. Imagine that. Imagine that.
But I hear what you're saying. Like, the reason the reason I'm for it is it's going to prevent injuries. Second reason, and again coming back just relating to our team, because I can speak on behalf of us, we saw minutes. Like, for example, youth players were getting minutes. Because they were like, oh, you've got an extra 2 subs. Let's just chuck one of them on for 15 minutes. And you're never going to see that with 3 subs, realistically speaking, unless you're 3-0 up. Especially in the Premier League. None of the big teams, right, are going to play these youth players. And I'll come to Chelsea, how many youth players have they got? You allow more players on the bench. You can chuck on, what's that midfielder that you've got? The one everyone's raving about, the young lads. Gilmore. For example, Gilmore, you're 2-0 up, 2-0 up. You've got, I don't know, say Kovacic on the bench. And you've got Gilmore on the bench. Who's going to sub on? He's going to sub on Kovacic.
That depends on the manager, though.
On Gilmore as well. But they're never going to do that, though.
But what I'm saying is also you've got to think on the other spectrum that if it's 5 subs, then it might lead to managers like Pep buying even more players, buy even better class players because he might see it in that extent. I get on the youth, but
the 5 subs though is for this year, though, really and truly, and it's just for the benefit of
just the season.
Yeah, and it's the kind of thing where we've had 5 subs and then suddenly now 3 subs back to normal when it's not back to normal.
Yeah. When it's back to normal next season, hopefully.
Exactly. When it's back to normal, you can go back to normal.
And you got to remember, Premier League is actually the only competitive league in Europe, top leagues in Europe that haven't got it. So the other league has got it. So and
literally my point is. Yeah, exactly. Literally, my point. We're getting all the injuries, and then we'll go to the Euros, and then England will say, "Oh, we could have won, but because of injuries." But the reason you got the injuries is because of the league. Like,
true. Anyways, let's move on to the major news of the week. Or I think was it today? It was actually
today.
It was today. Right. Today's been a long ass day. Right, Alex, we'll come on to you, mate. First and foremost, Pep Guardiola has signed a contract. Messi might be on his way, God knows. But what is your initial thoughts? It looks like Messi's on his way out as well, so there might be a match made in heaven there for you. But what are your initial thoughts regarding?
Well, it looks like Pep doesn't want to leave until he's won a Champions League. He's doing a similar thing to what Alex Ferguson did.
Aguero, the guy that's not won the Champions League there, and he's going to die there before he leaves and wins it. Aguero said, "I'm not leaving Man City until I'm with the Champions League."
Okay, yeah. Well, he can stay there, can't he? I'll have him.
Next,
but he's like Alex Ferguson, isn't he? He wouldn't leave until he'd won that 20th league title. I think he's in the similar boat, to be honest.
It's not the same thing, Alex.
Yeah, it is. It
It's
completely
not.
is, right?
It's not.
Because Pep has won everything else in England. He just hasn't won a Champions League, and that's Europe. He's yearning for it. That's all he's waiting for. Because he knows if he leaves before then, there's going to be all those trolls, isn't there, saying, "Oh, he hasn't."
I don't give a shit about that. Sure.
Yeah, he hasn't won one since Barcelona when he had Messi. That's what he's thinking.
After the 19th title, how long did it take Alex Ferguson to win his 20th? Took him like 2 years.
It was
Or the season.
Literally 2
season.
years.
Yeah.
I'll take pride in them 2 years for Man City stopping them.
We'll see.
But you see,
'Cause
the trolls will
You're
stop
lying.
because if you do sign Messi and then win Champions League, they're gonna tell you he can't do it without Messi anyway.
Yeah,
I
he's old Messi, and he's not prime Messi.
Exactly, and I don't even think you want Messi right now in your team because if you actually watch Messi, he does not play.
Yeah,
Like he does not defend anymore. As in, he doesn't run. Like literally, because I watch Barcelona games. No, I know.
It's more.
If an opportunity to get Messi in the team is there, you're not going to decline it. You're not. It's simple.
I'm looking.
It's simple.
I'm looking at it like this year. I'm looking at.
Pep's going to cream in his pants. I'll be honest. If he gets Messi, let's not lie, man. Come on, man.
Work your flipping and get Christie back to Old Trafford.
I'm just
oh, that'd be dreams. That Ronaldo versus Messi again. Jeez.
What when they're 38 and
I don't care, man. They can still do bits.
1 second. This is Daniel talking about age when man was defending Thiago Silva.
In it.
And now you're talking about Ronaldo.
But the difference is Thiago Silva is top 3.
Nah, so you're telling me that Ronaldo's not like one of the top strikers in world football at the moment?
Wait, if Ronaldo, it depends on when he comes. Hold on. Would you still say? Do you still think Ronaldo is the best striker in the world?
He's not the best. He's not the best, but he's in top 5. He's in the top 5.
So if he comes to the Premier League, where do you rank him in the Prem?
What do you mean? In the Prem? I'm top 3. I'm saying top.
So basing it off next season, you'd think he'd be top 3.
100% because of the way Ronaldo is.
Wait, who would be above him?
Bearing in mind, Ibrahimovic. What did Ibrahimovic do? What did Ibrahimovic do in his first season at Man United? What did he do? And that was 36. That was 36.
Ibrahimovic is like decline.
Nah, come on, man. Come on, what's wrong with you?
I'm so confused. Sorry, Alex, hold on, quickly, before you ask the question. The point I'm making is Ronaldo's on a decline and Messi's on a decline as well. I hope we all agree with that.
But their decline is 40 goals a season, man. That's their decline. Do you know what I'm saying? Like different planet goals. You know what I mean?
Okay, no, I know we're doing this thing, yeah, but they're not going to get 40 goals this year. Ronaldo's injured right now.
Oh, right, sorry, 35. Bloody hell, fucking hell.
He's not even going to get 35. Ronaldo's injured right now.
Ronaldo already is on like 8 goals in 6 games. He had COVID twice, came back, scored 2 goals, got injured, and came back again.
He's injured.
No, but that's what I'm saying to you.
Well, 1 second. I'm just going to throw this at you now, Daniel. I know everyone's thinking it. Coach is thinking it. Kish is thinking it. When we were saying this about Thiago Silva,
in it, man. Come on, man.
No, but listen, Thiago Silva. No, I'm not talking about. No, the difference is Thiago Silva was coming back from a Champions League final, and now
he came back from a Farmers League. He came back from a French Farmers League. That's what I'm trying to say to you.
How many goals did Ronaldo score last season? I don't even know. He must have like fucking went on a mad one again.
I'm not even doubting it. Ronaldo is always going to be Ronaldo, but let's just think. All right, cool. Let's see if it really happens. I'm more talking about Messi anyway than Ronaldo.
Oh, come on, man. Look at you change your opinion now, innit? It's like,
We started with Messi.
Okay, go on then. We've gone completely off track here. Let's go back to Pep Guardiola. Okay, so, right, Alex, so just to quickly summarize, I'm assuming, obviously, Sir Alex Ferguson,
it gives me some stability. Yeah, I'm just happy. It seemed like he was a bit unhappy, and the club didn't seem quite right for a long time, and I think that's just because contract negotiations were getting in the way. But now he's here for at least 2 more seasons before it gets ugly again. We can just enjoy it a bit. And to be honest, he's been at City longer than any other club he's ever been at now, so he's obviously a City fan. And you know what? I'm just happy that he loves City.
Nah, to be fair, I can't knock it. I'm not gonna lie. I was one of the people thinking that he'd leave after this season, or at least be like on his way out. So
I wouldn't be against him leaving and getting a manager like Pochettino in. I've liked Pochettino for a long time, and I think he'll do good stuff for City.
Pep Guardiola. Listen, we'll take Pep then. Fuck it. You can have Poch. Right. Anyways, we'll come over to you, Kojo. What are your thoughts on that one, mate?
Yeah. Stay far away from Poch. We don't want to hear that ever again over here. Nah, don't ever say that again. You got your guy. Keep him over there. His head gets hot when they lose big games and all that. Keep him over there. We're getting Poch. We need Poch because if you see what we're going through right now, you understand why I'm saying that right now. Okay, Poch is ours, but it's important that you guys kept him because he does need to win a Champions League with City because that's what we're waiting for. That's what happened at Bayern as well, but he didn't do it at Bayern. He got beaten by, to be fair, Barcelona and Real Madrid.
Barcelona violated him.
Yeah, and Real Madrid violated him as well. They all went on to win it. So at least it's credit in that department. But he does need to win it with City. If he doesn't, he wouldn't be a failure because people try to put that on him. But it wouldn't be an overall success because we know that City want to take that extra step and they look at him as the man to do so. And everything you built in the club in the last couple of years has been, even before he came, was for Pep.
Exactly. Yeah, the whole new academy was to make sure the youth players had the right facilities to be able to play nice football. Because our old training ground, it was lumpy. It was like, Carrington, next to United's old training ground as well. It's everything about the club now, since the new owners and since Cheeky and one of the other guy who's in charge of City, I can't remember his name. But they're best friends with Pep, and the whole club is Pep Guardiola. It's basically his brainchild and his experiment, and I think City fans are all right with that happening.
Yeah, Keisha, let's bring it on to you, obviously. And the other manager in the other corner, Jose Mourinho, won everywhere he's gone. You know, one of the greatest of all time, rightly up there. He's up with him and Pep, mate, again. Big rivals. To be fair, I'm looking forward to it. I've got to be honest. It's gonna be a good game, hopefully. To be fair, most of the games are interesting if they're not fucking arguing on touchline. But Keisha, what do you reckon? Obviously, Pep Guardiola is gonna want a good result, isn't he, against your beloved Spurs after signing that contract?
Yeah, I think him signing that contract, by the way, that just proves that the media know absolutely nothing. Because everyone said he's going to leave, he's going to go back to Barcelona or whatever. Yeah, so fair play for him signing the contract and staying there for a couple of years. But in regards to Mourinho, I think these next few fixtures, because I think in the next few games we've got City, we've got Chelsea, we've got Arsenal, I think, and we've got I think we've also got Wolves as well in that process. So we've got some really, really tough games incoming. So this for me will show where we're actually at. We've had a couple of good results against United and against Southampton where we've looked good. In the last couple of games, to be honest, against Brighton, a fair result would have been a draw. We managed to nick that 1-0. Last game against West Brom, fair result would have been a draw. We nicked that 1-0 as well. So I think we've won 3 on the bounce at like 1-1. I think we won 1-0, 1-0 and 2-1. Which, again, on paper looks like a Mourinho-esque result, getting a clean sheet, one goal and kind of backing out. So this will tell me as a Tottenham fan where we're actually at, because although we've got results, we've not played well. So apart from those couple of games, so for me, this will actually truthfully tell me where we are, if we're fighting for a top 4 or if we've got an opportunity to win the title. Because before the season started, and even after the transfer window, I would have said top 4. But with the injuries that Liverpool have had,
sorry to interrupt you. So what you just said there is, if you win this game, you think you can win the title?
Not this game, but the next 7 fixtures that we've got. In the next 7 fixtures that we have some really, really difficult games. Really difficult games. And I'm not saying we would win the league, but what I'm saying is in these next 7 games that we have with the likes of all the teams that I mentioned, if we could get, say, 13 to 15 points minimum in these 7 games, then for me, that shows that we could challenge. I'm not saying we could win it because I don't think we're favourites anywhere near the favourites. I'd say we're the 4th in line maybe. However, what I'm saying is right now, if we show in those results and we get some solid points, that shows me that we're in contention for the title rather than top 4. That's where I kind of see these fixtures.
I agree.
I hear that. Wait, let me just get a comment in here. Obviously, in case you know who this is, Baka. Jose Mourinho will have his excuse, but credit also Spurs and
taking the kids.
I was going to say the piss. You're taking the piss. Yeah, so Cody, you said you agreed there. Obviously, we will actually go into this game at some point. But what are your thoughts on those comments from Case? Obviously, you sat there in look happy for a change. What's going on? What you're happy to see Spurs win title? What's going on, Coach?
I've had a good day, man. I've had a good day, but no, this is a big test. I always talk about if you're trying to step up to another level, you have to come through the biggest tests, isn't it? And these games, this run of games, is a big test for them. If they come through, 7 games, so 21 points. If they get, I'll say 17. If they get 17 out of 21, I'll look at them and be like, shit. Like, it's good because now they've got players that they've brought in for depth. So in the Carabao Cup games or the pointless Europa League games, Carlos Vinicius can start, Kane can rest. They can really actually make a charge this time. So I don't want to say they're favourites. Hell no, they're not favourites, but they are in.
Favourites of what? What are we talking about?
Oh no, I said they're favourites in Tottenham, like in the area.
Oh. Okay, that makes more sense.
But no, if they come through, especially with no losses, then I look at them and be like, okay, something different about you. I'm not saying you're coming for the title, but there's something changing, and that's good. That's a good sign. Usually, they become Spursy, don't they? So
yeah, we got another comedy from Backer. Obviously, bits and bobs here. Yeah. So what, my guy? Love you. Backer saying, Coach, obviously you're a WWE title, Audi Cup, so don't disrespect him. It is what it is.
Is that guy an Arsenal fan?
No, he's a Chelsea fan.
Okay.
Right, from one Chelsea fan to another, Daniel. I know you need to mute yourself. I know you're a huge Jose fan. Obviously, I hear what Kish is saying. I do hear that because, you can't deny if they actually get out of this very difficult period with some decent amount of points, then you got to respect their current position with a manager like Jose, who can do it. Like, Jose is a winner in a sense, so you can't really disrespect him. But yeah, Daniel, what do you think to what Kish said? Do you believe that they could potentially go that next step, obviously based on the back of some decent runs?
No, I love Jose. You already know this. Like, I think he will win Tottenham the trophy that they so desperately want and need to add to their ego. But in terms of winning the title, look, let me be honest. They're not winning the title, and they're not even favourites. And the reason why I say that is because, look, at the end of the day, they've gone through a good patch, and it's a bit like the Chelsea thing as well. That's why I don't want to be too quick to say Chelsea are going to win the league. But Tottenham also, the defence is still not impressive. I hope you know that that back line is not the greatest.
No, I'm more than aware.
Eric Dyer at centre half.
Even Doherty and Aurier being your right backs, I just don't know if I can rely on that for the whole season, for the whole course. Like, is this the team when Jose came into Tottenham and they were thinking, can you win the league for us? And he's like, yeah, is this the team Jose had in mind? 100% not. As in, no way. So obviously circumstances have changed and the league is different this year. Yeah. But in my opinion, the cream will rise to the top when the time comes in it. And I just don't think Tottenham are there. I do think they can get a very high finish, maybe third, but I just winning the title, I don't think so. No way.
Do you know what it reminds me of, Daniel? It reminds me of when Mourinho came back to Chelsea in his second tenure, when he said they were a little horse in a big race. You know, when they came third, and then the next season he went on.
We had a good patch as well. Yeah,
exactly. So what I'm saying is, I'm not saying that we're favourites by any chance. I'd say we're fourth in the race for it. But my opinion is if you give him another season, say if we get top 4 this season, you give him another season where he gets the finances again, because let's be honest, he needs money. He can't do it without money. I can't lie. And gets the players to put us to the next level, then I would say that we will close the gap further. I'm not saying we're guaranteed to win the league, but I'm just saying we've got a better chance with him managing us than Pochettino.
And one thing I would agree with as well is Levy's backing him. Like, Daniel's backing him like no other manager.
He's backing him, isn't he?
Poch must be swearing on TV. I'm not even going to lie.
Poch's got his lovely hair, like, don't get me wrong. He's coming to the Theatre of Dreams. Anyways, Alex, let's talk about the game itself. We've not spoken much about the game. Alex, how are you feeling? Have you got any team news for us regarding City? What are you? Obviously, Torres back to hat-trick, by the way.
Yeah, well, City scored a lot of goals on international duty. I think it was 8 with Ruben Diaz for Portugal, Foden as well.
Scored for us as well, so don't
and bro.
Sorry, I just get that. It was an absolute banger.
Before I go on to waxing lyrical about City, I've just got a question for Kish. Do Tottenham fans genuinely have they warmed to Mourinho now?
I think that documentary helped a lot. I'll be honest. I think a lot of people had a perception about him, which is rightfully so. Past his best, finish, blah, 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 blah. But I think since that documentary and this season, I think people have started warming to him. I follow quite a few, fan channels on Twitter in particular. And you can see that the energy around him now is like my manager, kind of favoritism towards it.
That'll fade.
I'm just saying it does fade, but what I'm saying is the fans seem to be behind him now, whereas last season when we first hired him, everyone was swearing.
Can I just add something to that? What you just said there, for me, it just sums up football Twitter. Obviously, you're all going to be behind him. You slapped us 6-1. You beat a very good Southampton side very convincingly. You've done well. You haven't lost in that period. Have you lost a game? No, you haven't.
Not in a while, to be fair.
Exactly. That's why everyone's behind him. And give it a couple of games when you lose to Man City tomorrow, and then when you lose a couple of Saturday. Sorry, apologies, not tomorrow. And then when you lose a couple other games back to back, and then you see what toxic Jose Mourinho is like, and then the knives will be out from Jose. He'll be throwing Oreo or Doherty under the bus, saying, I didn't get my players, X, Y, and Z. I need a centre back. Eric Dyer's too busy having his shit in the toilet still. Fucking God knows. But, for me personally, you can't really judge a manager, right? In a good time, you judge him in a bad time, because the way you bounce back determines where your mentality is and the way the dressing room is. Like, for example, again, I don't want to use those, but that Everton game then, when we just beat Everton 3-1, although it doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme of things, but in that moment, it shows the dressing room still quite solid, because if they're down the tools there, and he'd have been out, basically. I know God is fuming, but if they're down the tools there, he would have been out. So obviously the players still believe in him, and obviously when you're winning, things are going to be, roses in the garden, so to speak. We'll see what happens when you lose a couple.
I agree.
We'll come back to it. But let's actually talk about the game, because it's been 30 minutes and we've not actually said anything about the game. Alex, we'll come with you first and foremost. How do you think? Well, it's very difficult to say on Pep's behalf, but how do you think he's going to line up, or what would you do personally?
How I think he's going to line up, I think if we're going from back to front, he's got to go with Edison in goal, obviously. We haven't got anybody else. Maybe Scott Carson.
I hear Kepa's available if you want to take him.
All right. I think Ruben Diaz and Laporte is a dead cert now at centre-half. They're one of the best pairings in the Premier League. They're big players. Walker, I'm not sure about left-back. I mean, I'd like to see Zinchenko get more games. I'm not sure. He's been out of the team for a long time. I'm not sure whether he's even injured, ill. Is
Angelino still on your books, by the way?
No, he plays for Leipzig now.
No, I know he plays for Leipzig. I wasn't sure if he was on loan or not. So you have He's looking good, to be fair. He's looking a good.
I mean, last season in the Champions League, all City fans were wondering why.
Well, obviously, he was going against us, conceding 5 in it, but in general, it's been all right.
Yeah. To be fair. I mean, for me, in midfield, Foden has to start. The way he played for England the other day, I know no one watches international games, but he was really impressive. I mean, Roy Keane compared him to Scholes. Man United fans can back that, but yeah. I think as well, whoever was doubting De Bruyne last week needs to watch the international.
That was Daniel Inkish.
No. He hasn't scored a goal in over a year, and then he bangs one top corner, sets up Lukaku for assist.
Kish, please.
He doesn't.
Who's he playing for? Who's it against?
Denmark.
Come on, man! I'm not being funny. It's Denmark, mate. It's Denmark. Come on, man. That's like playing Burnley away. Come on, man. Behave.
Did you just?
Do you know what I mean?
No, man.
They needed to win it.
England, but England's defense is wank as well. Do you know what I mean? I'm just saying.
And two things I would say to that. England dominated that game. Let me tell you.
What are you on about?
For them in the taking. And Belgium sat back. Roberto Martinez, I don't even know what he's doing with that team. But anyway. And the second thing is, the point about De Bruyne is, I'm not saying I doubt him. I'm just saying in the big games, and these are friendlies, let's see what he does when in the big competition.
Is Tottenham a big game?
Yes.
I can't wait for this weekend.
Yeah. And the thing is, what's funny is people think people think I'm hating on KDB. I literally every time I start the argument, I say Daniel, in the Premier League. All I'm saying is be clutch.
We're just winding you up, man.
No, I know. It's a bit like the Harry Kane thing, Kish.
Just do a straight swap in it. Kevin De Bruyne for Jack Grealish. Villa City get it done in it. Just do that. Be all right. Gascoigne in it. Just do that.
Alex, finish off your team. We've got Backus in. I hope KDB Spurs.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, the rest of the team, I think Torres obviously has to start after his form. That hat-trick was beautiful. The volley was beautiful. Jesus, I mean, I do every time my dad asks me for a team sheet, I do it so radically. I just go from left back to striker.
So is Jesus going to be playing? So obviously Aguero's still injured, isn't he?
Yeah. So Jesus needs to play. Sterling has to play. And I think I want to see more of Bernardo Silva, to be honest. The fact that he hasn't really got into the team this season. Huh?
Yeah, he's a bit of a forgotten man, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's ever since he was racist last season. I don't know if you remember that Mendy.
Yeah.
I remember that.
That really set him back. he's a stupid boy, but he needs to be back in full form, and I think Tottenham is a good way to get back into full form, especially running at Eric Dyer at centre half. Absolute donkey.
Alex, what about Mahrez? What's going on with him?
Oh,
you know what?
Yo, give him to us. Give us Mahrez. We'll give you Phil Jones and Rowe, and you can get Lingard. I'm creative for free. Take off.
This is the thing with City fans. We're quite fed up of Mahrez starting games because he just doesn't play the same way as the rest of the team. Like at Leicester, when he was in full form, because he played differently to everyone else, that complimented them because he was the only one, that had a really neat touch in the edge of the box. Whereas at City, every player has that. So when he takes at City, he's got one of the slowest touches. He takes way too many touches in times that matter. So I think City fans are just fed up of him either just taking too many touches or just going straight for goal rather than trying to whip it into a striker.
We'll take him. Right,
So,
anyways,
anyway.
Yeah, no, I was supposed to say I will take him actually. I'm not gonna lie in a heartbeat. But Kish, let's get you in because I'm just looking at the time and it's flipping almost 40 minutes. Kish, what are your thoughts, mate? What's your lineup and how do you think it's gonna go?
It's going to be a tough game for us, to be honest. I can't lie. If Man City play the way they did against Liverpool in that first half, we will struggle because the way that they dominate with the press and with the sort of quick 1-2 combinations of passing is ridiculous. And with that defence, I don't trust it. We've been lucky on quite a few occasions against the likes of Brighton. So if we've got, if we're up against the attack that, Alex has mentioned, we will struggle defensively. But again, I think the way we'll line up is how Mourinho always lines up in these big games, and it's counter-attack. And we've got players that can seriously hurt them. Son is in the form of his life. Harry Kane has proved this season that he's not just a goal scorer, he's more than that. And I think that with that City defence, if Harry Kane uses his strength and kind of his movement to take away the likes of Laporte or Diaz away, that just gives Son space. And then it's not just Son. I doubt Bale will start. Bale will come off the bench, but I would love for him to start with Lucas Moura because he needs pace. He has to have pace as a front three, in my opinion. If he's just got Son and Kane, then for that City defence, it will be easy for them to know that they need to mark those two. And again, the player that I lambasted and you've always rated, Ndombele. I'll be honest. Since Mourinho has literally bent him over and got the belt out, he's fully put in the performances this season. I can't lie, and he will be massive for me. The game will be won or lost, in my opinion, depending on how he plays. Because if he turns up and he's on his top form, I don't think that City midfield will be able to do anything around him because he's that good. I know against Man United, I know it's difficult because you weren't on form and stuff, but he in that game was just an absolute animal. He intercepted everything and just not only intercepted it, he created the forward passes. And then with Højbjerg was also he for me this season so far has been a fantastic signing. He's been that kind of Wanyama replacement when Wanyama first came to Spurs that we've not had in a while. So these players need to turn up for me. But in terms of lineup, I do think he'll go with a defensive shape. I do feel like he will play Højbjerg, Sissoko, and also Ndombele. I think that will be his three in midfield. Yeah. I definitely think he'll have that solid. Yeah, I think he'll definitely have that solid midfield, especially with Sissoko with the pace and the legs that he's got. I think as a front three, I would love for him to have Son, Harry Kane, and Lucas Moura. it's great that Bale's getting minutes, but I think he played for Wales the other day, so I won't want him to start, to be honest. And you need someone who tracks back, and Lucas Moura does do that for us. In defence, it will be the same back four, and this is where honestly, it's horrible. We're gonna have Alderweireld, Dyer at centre half, and then we'll probably have Ragoul on one side, and then we'll probably have Ben Davies is injured, I believe. I think he's injured, so we'll have Doherty. He'll probably start Doherty on this side because I don't think he trusts Aurier in these bigger games because he always puts his foot out, and then Lloris. But I think Ragoul for me again, another one great signing. So from the counter he could do something.
Good loan, that to be fair.
That centre back position, Alderweireld, no legs. Dyer all my days. Just if he needs a shit, he runs off the pitch and leaves us in like 10 man. So.
I've got a dire stat for you, to be fair. Like the last two times Man City have beat Tottenham 4-1, Dyer was playing in defence.
That's not a surprise. That's not a surprise. So
right,
I'm
gonna get some comments because I was trying my best not to laugh. Obviously, RK1, Shazad the homie. Thank you for tuning in as always. This one's just making me laugh. I'm gonna go Man City 5-2. KDB loves defensive teams, by the way. Alex, did you not see Rodri performance for Germany? Obviously, brilliant in that game.
It's not bad, was it?
6-0 winners. Obviously, Espanyol on all that. But let's get Daniel and Kojo, your quick thoughts, because obviously I've noticed the time and obviously we dwell on this a bit too much. Daniel, just a quick 60 seconds, your thoughts on the game, and then we'll all do our score predictions.
Daniel, mute, Daniel.
Every single time. Game will be won and lost on for Man City, how they are able to break down Tottenham, because I see Mourinho coming into this being a bit more conservative. But however, I think Tottenham can really win the game if they go with the same approach Liverpool did, because in the first half, Liverpool were all over Man City. Yeah, it's very high, and they were looking nervous. I mean, they've got Son, they've got Kane, they've got Bale, they've got Lucas Moura, Bergwijn. So they've got players who are very able to be smart and get themselves in and around the box and get themselves the goals. But at the same time, City's quality, if they're able to settle the game and get into a routine, get into a rhythm, I think that will play into City's hands. So it's literally a toss-up. It just depends. I don't know who's going to win. If I had to predict and you held me at knife point, I'd say it will be a draw. So yeah. Okay,
so you've sat on the fence while I've got the gun to your head. Okay,
sat on the fence.
Right, okay. My God, I'm saying it for the friggin'. Right, okay. And Kojo, same for you, 60 seconds or so, and then obviously give us a score prediction.
Spurs need to be really clinical. Obviously, with City, they want to dominate the ball. They want to control the game, Pep style. They need to tightly mark. The wingers need to do defensive work because you know what City's wingers are going to do, so they need to watch the fullbacks. And Højbjerg is essential. I don't know if Rodri starts, I feel like Ndombele is going to have the time of his life with him. But if Højbjerg doesn't keep an eye on Kevin De Bruyne is going to have the time of his life with Eric Dyer. So it's one way or the other. And yeah, you need Kane to be clinical, and you need Jesus to be clinical. If I'm going to go for a score, I'm going to go home win 2-1.
Right, that's the Spurs, obviously. That's just in case you do know, right? Okay, just double checking. Right, okay, Alex, score prediction. What are you going for, mate?
I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be 2-1 City. Max. I'm not feeling good about it, to be honest. I never feel good about City games, and I don't like predicting scores.
All right, fair enough. All right, Kish, what's the score prediction, mate?
Mourinho to put a finger up at Pep. 2-1 Spurs.
Okay, that's an interesting way to look at it. Anyways, I'm gonna say the other way around. I'm gonna say 3-2 to Manchester City. I've kept Son in my team of fantasy football. I'm expecting him to at least score at least one. However, I'm expecting Man City to bust the ball, obviously, as they normally do, and Kevin De Bruyne to do his thing against Dyer because he's shit. So it is what it is. Watch Dyer fucking score, and Kish will be like, "You what, mate? You what?" But anyways, 3-2 for me. Let's move on to the next game. We've practically spent the whole show on this one, but it is what it is. Liverpool against Leicester. Obviously, we won't spend as much time on our own personal team because we've got favourite fixtures, should we say. Liverpool against Leicester. Liverpool practically got everybody out injured, apart from Mane, Firmino, Who else? Who else is fit for them? I swear everybody else is out.
The keeper,
the keeper's fit. Alisson's fit. The back four's not fit at all, which is absolutely ridiculous. I think the backups are injured as well. Fabinho's injured. Henderson's injured. I think they said fit.
I think they said Henderson will be back. They said Matip. They got Robertson still, but then
Robertson fit.
Yeah, Robertson will be fit because he didn't play the second game for Scotland. He played the first game.
Oh, right, so he's fit. But literally, everybody else is injured. Obviously, Salah's got COVID. Firmino's the defenders. At least they've got one defender there, so that's always the positive. You know, he does well clearly at what he does. But yeah, let's have a quick chat. You know what, Daniel? We'll start with you this time. Leicester have got some decent results. I believe they're top of the league, if I'm not mistaken, currently as it stands. Obviously, Jamie Vardy's been having a party of late. You know, what are your thoughts? Just obviously 60 seconds or so.
I mean, look, what Rodgers is the most underrated manager in the league. Let me say that first. I think he's quality. I think he does deserve. If there's any British manager that deserves a big job, it would be him. I trust him with money as well, and his coaching style. In terms of Leicester, what I'm seeing from them is they're finding ways to win. Especially, I don't know, a lot of people didn't watch the Leeds game, and the Leeds game, if you just looked at the scoreline, you'd think, yeah, Leicester dominated. But really and truly, they were on the back, like they were on the ropes for a lot of that game until they ran away with it. But Leicester, man, they're looking really impressive. I don't think they'll win the title or anything like that, or even finish in the top four again. But I do think they'll be there and thereabouts for the whole season. Like it's going to be an awkward game for any team when you play Leicester. So yeah, man, it should be a good game. I still see Liverpool finding a way to win. Yeah. However, I won't be surprised if Leicester win. Like, it won't.
What's the score prediction then? What are you going for?
I'd go for a 2-1 win for Liverpool.
Okay, fair enough. Everyone in there obviously was watching as well. Get your score predictions in the chat. I've missed this one. 1-0 to City, boring game. Okay, interesting. And James has just put LOL to respond to that. It is what it is. Anyways, Cody, we'll come to you exactly the same, brother. Obviously, you've heard what Daniel's got to say regarding the matter. What are your thoughts on this game?
Leicester will never have a better chance to beat Liverpool than now.
Yeah,
especially at the back. It's been a massacre this season. They conceded 7 with their best defense. So with a defense that's missing their top defenders, it could be a massacre as well. They will definitely concede, but Liverpool, Mane is still quality. Jota is still quality. The box-to-box striker is, there. So we will see. We'll see what happens in that game. I think this one's going to be the draw. Actually, I think it's going to be a 2-2. I feel like Liverpool will go behind, pull in front, and then Vardy will pull it back, and then we'll stay.
Yeah. To be fair, Liverpool and Leicester, do drop points both, and it does mean Arsenal can still win the title according to their fans. So it'll be interesting. Alex, what do you reckon? Obviously, your nearest competitors are only in Liverpool. What are your thoughts?
I think Leicester are more likely to beat Liverpool than Man City were to beat Liverpool, because I think Liverpool don't try as hard against Leicester. So I'm going 3-1 Leicester.
That's so funny. Someone else has put that in the chat at the exact same time. Leicester 3-1.
Yeah.
Right. Bloody hell, Leicester 3-1. Interesting. Kish, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I think it's going to be 2-2. I think Leicester can't deal with Liverpool's attack because of their defence. And I think likewise with the injuries that Liverpool have, I don't think they can deal with Leicester's attack. And going back to what Daniel said as well about Rodgers, he deserves a big move. I think when Arteta gets sacked at the end of the season, I think, Rodgers should take that job, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm naive to defend the team, so he deserves this.
Are we forgetting that someone called Rodgers had a big move and then some people started slipping and conceding late?
That wasn't a big move though.
He's got
that team was not supposed to win the league. Let's be honest. At the beginning of the season,
but
looked at that squad.
But then
you could technically say Arsenal's not a big move. But then you could say Arsenal's not a big move anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, neither is Man United.
You know what I mean? Arsenal's not a big move.
Will always remain relevant somehow or another.
True.
They're huge.
Daniel's like, it's true, Man United. It's true, Man United. Mum was like, it's true. When I mentioned Arsenal, was like, yeah, it's true, lads, it's true. Right, okay. Sorry, did you say
2-2? Yeah.
Desmond. I honestly, God, can't fucking stand Liverpool. I hate him. Every core of my five, and I hate him for obvious reasons. But another reason I hate him is because they always win these mother-loving games. They'll play wank, right? I can predict it for you. They'll play proper dog shit. Aizzo Perez is going to miss some flipping sitters, right? And then somehow Liverpool are going to score. Mane is going to fucking contribute.
Origi's going to come on and score.
It's going to be what? Nah,
It's going to be Shaqiri.
Shaqiri.
So one of these dead mother lovers will
It's
score.
going to be someone dead.
Singing "You Ever Walk Alone." They won the pricks. I can't stand them. They'll always win. They'll play shit, but they'll win. Mane and Jota will score, and then for Leicester, I'm just going to say, I'll say Tillemans.
Oh yeah, have you seen what Liverpool have done with their new training ground?
What? Show,
Yeah.
show it down.
They made the time capsule and put Klopp's glasses in. I mean, if that's not a reason for them to lose every game for the rest of the season, I don't know what is. I really hate Liverpool.
Nah, honestly,
No one likes them. No one likes Liverpool.
No one likes them.
Why do they do these things? I don't understand.
That's so cringe, man. But let's move on from them. I've got sadly 2-1. Hopefully my case continues in the lose. Anyways, moving on. Let's have a look. Oh, Leeds against Arsenal. Leeds United against Arsenal. Decent game. Yeah, Allen Road and all that good stuff. Kitchener, we'll start with you because obviously, you're very unbiased in this game.
To be fair, that'll be a good game because that we see, we'll be able to see who gets relegated at the end of the season. So it's a kind of defining. It's a 6-pointer, as you'd say. You know what I mean for these teams. So to be honest, I think this game is all bad for Arteta. Because Arteta's going to keep it. Bielsa's going to be on the press. And literally, Arteta is literally going to shit his pants on the pitch. Like, it's going to be a massacre, mate. Like, I'll be honest, that Bamford is going to lick his lips when he sees that literally El Neni's not even playing because of the virus. It's going to be world-class behaviour. I'm not even joking, though. I think with that press, I think it's all wrong for Arteta's Arsenal, in my opinion.
So what's your score prediction then, mate?
I think I'm going to go for 3-1 Leeds.
Bro, Arsenal fan team would be lit if that happens.
Yeah.
Shame troops in there, but it is what it is. Daniel, what do you reckon?
Yeah, 100%, man. If Arteta tries to go into this game to try and defend, he's going to lose, and that's for a fact. Because what Leeds are good at, regardless of their deficiencies, they make chances for themselves. So you have to be prepared for that. Yeah, you can even ask Alex. Kevin De Bruyne didn't show up in that game, but it's like literally.
What are we talking about? He's demolishing Arsenal. Don't bring it back to Kevin De Bruyne.
It's all right. He turned up against Denmark, man. Don't worry about it. It's all right.
Nah, I'm joking, but nah. Yeah, I mean, Arteta cannot play Aubameyang on the wing. I hope international giving him
if he's playing on the wing,
but yeah, I still think Leeds win that game. I just don't see how Arsenal win. I just literally cannot see it. I just don't. And
so what score are you going for? Kitchener 3-1.
I think yeah, because when Arsenal lose, they don't lose by a little margin.
Nah, they lose badly.
I'll say 3-1 as well, man. I'm going with 3-1.
Right, bloody hell, these guys are confident. Coach, what do you reckon, mate?
You know what? I actually think the way they press Leeds, Arsenal can counter-attack. That shocking defense Leeds have, they can score. However, Lacazette will be starting, so I'm gonna take all of that back. I'm gonna say that Arsenal are not scoring, and Leeds. Leeds are holding them free.
Alex, come on out. Look, Ahmed's not here. He might watch this. I don't know if he will. I'll send this clip anyways. Come on, he's got to have a bit of happiness. Alex, what do you reckon?
1-1.
Oh my god, straight in there with oh my god, you almost killed me there.
I just think it's going to be quite a boring game. Too many tactics. Bielsa
no way.
Bielsa doesn't play like that. Bielsa doesn't do that.
Arteta is
if Bielsa Pep wasn't a boring game, because that game was literally end to end. Was
that the 3-3 one? I can't remember.
No,
it was
it was 2-2, I think. 2-2, I think.
I don't remember the score. Alex,
it was high scoring.
I don't remember the score. There's been so many games. I think it was 2-2 though.
The Liverpool Leeds one was 4-3, isn't it? It's obviously But anyways, we'll not talk about them. All right. You guys are fucking confident on Leeds. They're away from home, so I'm assuming Arteta surely is going to play Aubameyang down the middle and Pepe. If he doesn't play Pepe, Aubameyang, and Saka, then fucking hell, Lord have mercy. If Lacazette's playing, then I do agree with Kojo. It's going to be a long day in the office. But I'm going to say 5-0. No, I'm joking. I would say 2-1 Leeds. I'll give Arsenal a bit of respect to that. It is what it is. And hopefully I'm wrong and it's 5-0, but we'll see. Right, let's move on to obviously our teams. You know what, Daniel, we'll allow you to go first with your beloved team because I was this close to Van Ziyech on fantasy football. I thought I'll give him one more week. Just, I don't think he deserves. He's not done enough to get into my team yet. He's just got the one goal in the system there. But Daniel, what do you reckon? You're playing Newcastle first kickoff, if I'm not mistaken.
Nah, I put Ziyech straight into my team.
Yeah, now that I think about it, I'm out for
He's got three assists already, 1 goal, and he's.
I've got Bruno in it. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, fair enough. And Bruno's the perfect FPL player, to be fair, because
we'll get at least 2 pens this game.
Penalties. They get so many penalties. That's why.
And he will win them as well, so it'll be great. But now, this is a game that obviously Newcastle are our bogey team, but like Chelsea fans, there's this like myth that when we beat Newcastle away, we're gonna have a good season. Do you get what I'm saying? So,
oh, really?
Like, yeah. So mad myth.
Am I right in thinking you drew 2-2 to them last season?
Now we lost 1-0 last season.
Yeah, it was right at the end of the game, wasn't it?
Yeah. Didn't come out. Isaac Hayden heads it in. But yeah,
that's right. Yeah,
so literally, if we beat Newcastle, especially when they don't have Callum Wilson, like it's like obviously Chelsea fans, good season. I think we're gonna win. I think we're gonna win comfortably. The only worry in quotation marks is Thiago Silva won't play because.
Does he know?
Yeah, because the thing Lampard has already said that every time international break happens, he's not gonna play Thiago Silva, obviously, because traveling from far. Also, you wanna, and also the age comes into it. You wanna pace him. You wanna play him in the important games, and he's probably gonna play in the Champions League game that happens on Tuesday. So it makes sense. But I trust Zuma, man. Zuma's becoming a better defender every single game. I think he leads in Europe, like in aerial duels, tackles, intercept, and he's got good tackle ratio, good interception ratio. But yeah, I think we'll win. I think we'll win 3-0. 3-1, sorry. You have to compensate.
That's literally what I've got. As well.
Compensate for Thiago Silva. Joe Linton will suddenly score his first goal in how many years against Chelsea. So it always happens. But yeah, we'll win. Werner will score as well, definitely. Werner
will score?
Werner will score. Werner.
I've got him and Chilwell, so hopefully they get an assist or a goal. So happy days. Anyways, I've gone for the exact same. I want to keep it short and sweet. 3-1 Chelsea. Kish, what do you reckon?
Yeah, same again. 3-1 Chelsea. Comfortable win.
Alex, what do you reckon?
3-0 Chelsea.
Okay, straight in there. And Kojo, last but not least.
4-0 Chelsea.
Damn! I
want to see that.
Right, okay, let's move on to one of the biggest teams in the world, West Brom, against Manchester United at Old Trafford. We haven't won at home, Kojo. I'm gonna come to you first, mate. Surely.
This is the game.
Surely this is the game, Kojo.
All I'm gonna say is this: if the guy in charge, if the guy in charge does not win this game,
that's why I'm stressed. I
cannot be held responsible for what I say on your channel.
If we lose this game, right? Just so you guys know, if we lose this game, make sure you tune in and just watch Beaks' face. As soon as that Beaks will be really calm when he's starting the video, and then as soon as when he starts thinking about it during the video, man's eyes just pop out his head like he gets angry, man. Remember, Kojo B, you were just laughing for ages. I couldn't contain it. He just wouldn't stop shouting. I don't even know who the last thing is.
Even ask Darren, my mate, he's like, because we're supposed to win, we're not going to win. And I said, you can't think like that. It's West Brom. I know we drew 3-3 to West Brom, but West Brom are so bad, they let us come back.
Didn't they just about lose to Spurs recently, like 1-0? That last game.
Yeah, that was at home. That was at home, and they just sat back.
I thought West Brom were good in that.
Break these fucking teams down. That's it. Back.
No, but West Brom aren't even a good sitting back team. They're not good.
Trust me, we'll make them look like Mourinho and Leicester.
You can't. As in,
that AC Milan team, not that bad boy AC Milan team, but there. We will make them
even if I want to banter United. like I actually can't even see a way where you guys don't win this game.
I'll catch you up Monday.
Daniel, I said the same thing 2 years ago when we played Cardiff and Huddersfield. What happened?
Oh my God.
No, but the Huddersfield one was late in the season, so you have to factor that in.
So what? No, don't do that.
What do you reckon? Because obviously,
to be honest, I'm never going to talk about tactics or anything like that.
Yeah, man, we'll do that tomorrow's video.
Man, Red Bliss is better win the game. I'm going to say 2-0. And if it's anything less than 2-0, I'm not going to be held responsible. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, right. Okay, let's come to you, Kesh, before we'll leave you to Daniel. What do you reckon, Kesh?
I think it's literally going to be like that Brighton game when United got battered but still managed to win 3-2. Do you remember that Brighton game in the beginning?
Yes, I remember.
Yeah, I think it's going to be like that. I think Carlin Grant is going to have about 10 sitters and score one.
What the fuck is that?
Grant, who plays for West Brom. Yeah. I can see it being 2-1 United.
Yo, my heart almost skipped a beat when you said 2-1. Then I'm thinking, I can't be doing that against West Brom. Yeah, because I do these watch-alongs. I sit there and so much embarrassment. No, I get that Istanbul game. Oh my God! I swear I didn't speak for about 20 minutes. I just sat there like in shock. But Alejandro, what do you reckon, mate?
Definitely 1-0. I think it's a penalty. Yeah. Penalty to win it. It's going to be Bruno Fernandes, isn't it? So someone's going to leave a trailing leg.
Oh shit! Rashford's injured, isn't it? If I'm not wrong.
Yeah,
Rashford's out. I think Cavani's starting with Martial, if I'm not wrong.
Greenwood has to play, man. He needs his confidence.
Cavani's gunman, mate. He does what he does. We've got James here, who's a regular on the channel. Win or lose, all you out. Say no more. Daniel, what do you reckon, mate? What do you reckon?
No, I actually think this will be a convincing win. 3-0. I actually think you'll win. You have to win. You actually can't lose.
Oh God,
Daniel, you don't know Manchester United.
No, but the thing about United, is if you score early, you win comfortably.
Oh yeah, you score early. Yeah. Then it'll be like 5-0. But
we scored early against Tottenham. What happened?
No, but that's Tottenham.
Relax, coach. Why are you bringing me back to traumatic?
Innit, man?
Just relax, chill out. Anyways, I'm good. I'm gonna say 3-0 as well. Fuck it. I bought Bruno. I captained him. I don't give a shit. Bruno's scoring too much in this game. Nah. Bruno's definitely scoring this game. I don't know if it's a penalty, offside, dodgy offside goal, wherever it may be. Bruno's definitely scoring this game in it. So,
Usmaan, can you also just summarise the Twitter bollocks that's been going on about Maguire? He's had 2 good games or 3 good games, and literally,
did you see my tweet?
I saw your response to that tweet. It's like he's literally had 2 good games against nobody. I
haven't seen it.
What They're basically saying that no one's saying anything anymore.
The apologies needs to be as respect for Maguire. Fuck off. He's had 3 good games.
Pathetic, man. Pathetic.
Against who? Who did they even play? Like Belgium shit. They got De Bruyne in that team and Lukaku.
Belgium are the number 1 ranked team in the world.
And we got battered 2-0. We still lost. We lost 2-0. So how is that a masterclass? How is that defensive masterclass?
I allow it, okay. It wasn't 5, as Arsenal fans would say. It was only 2 weeks progress. Let's move on to, obviously, Lolis isn't here, but we speak on his behalf. And obviously, we're all from, us top 3 are from Sheffield, so we can talk from Sheffield United's perspective. Let's get the 2 Londoners in first, represent your ends first. Kojo, West Ham travel to Sheffield United. As you may or may not know, but Sheffield United and West Ham fucking hate each other.
I know.
This is basically a derby. Like this might be worse than Wednesday. I mean, it's up there. It's definitely getting up there. Like Sheffield United do not like West Ham and vice versa. But yeah, Kojo, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I can't lie. That whole rivalry is funny because for me, even though they beat us,
it was against us. Yeah, it was against us.
Even though they beat us, we won the title. They stayed up, so in my area, it was like a double celebration for me. Like it was going crazy over here. So forever blowing them bubbles ever since. But I think West Ham. I think West Ham will sneak this one because Sheffield United just don't look good anymore.
They need to get a win somewhere, man.
Yeah, and I don't know where it's coming from. That's the scary thing. I actually don't know where it's coming from. I thought Fulham would be the team to not get a win before everybody else. And then it looks like Sheffield United obviously the team to do so. So I don't know where they want to come.
A couple of weeks to give it time.
Oh yeah. It's coming. No worries, it's coming. Spend it. No worries, spend it. But I will go with a West Ham win, and I will say I think West Ham win it 1-0.
All right, fair enough. A miss is coming from Bits and Balls, Bruno goal and Tarzan brace.
Who's Tarzan?
Government.
Oh yeah.
I don't ask. Right, okay, so you've got 1-0 Sheffield, West Ham even. As you said, it was a double celebration for you. Mine, I got people knocking on my door saying it's your fault that we got relegated. Like, I was on the fucking pitch. Like, what did I do? Like, do you know what I mean? I couldn't even celebrate. These guys made me feel that guilty that it was because of us that they got relegated. It is what it is. But Daniel, the other side of London, what do you reckon, mate? West Ham v Sheffield United.
No, but on that though, I watched that game. You lot were deep though, because you didn't play well that day. You just let
bottled it so hard. Like,
Champions.
But yeah, champions. Yeah. But no, in terms of the game, yeah, Sheffield United, like I said, beginning of the season, Sheffield United predicted them to go down. 3 at the back, it's not working. The thing is, they still play good football, but they just don't have goals anymore. Brewster, I said it when he moved, wrong loan move to go. That's not the system for him. No, it's a good signing in terms of the player, but it's not his team. The way, if you watched him when he played for Swansea free flowing. That's why Dan James looks so good. Free flowing team. They expressed themselves.
Sheffield United do play good football. They just don't have that clinical man up front. I'll be honest with you.
I don't think the guys have chances.
To be honest, I agree with Daniel. Brewster just doesn't fit in the system.
He probably doesn't fit in, but they do create chances. I just don't think we have I just don't think
Don't you think it's alarming that if it's McGoldrick who struggles to score anyway?
If it's McGoldrick, it fits Ollie McBurney, but it doesn't fit Brewster.
Brewster would have been perfect for someone like Brighton because they create so many chances. They just got bad goals. He would have been perfect.
Imagine playing Neil Mopé and Brewster up front.
And Lallana in behind in that number 10 role. That would be perfect.
Lallana's fit. Fucking hell.
Yeah, he's been playing almost every game for him.
Bloody hell, madness. Him and Welbeck do the thing. Right, what's the score, Daniel?
West Ham win, I'll say 2-0.
I think I've got 4-0 still in my team, by the way, for this game, so you better fucking score, I swear to God. Right, Alex, what do you reckon, mate?
2-0, United ain't scoring. It's kind of just depressing at Bramall Lane at the moment.
Yeah, I know he's on about. He's on about.
I know.
But yeah, it's not going to be good.
Okay, Kish, right? It's like Sheffield v London. Kish, what do you reckon?
I am worried. I kind of feel sorry for Wilder because I can feel that he's going to get sacked. The way the board is, any manager can get sacked now. It doesn't matter what you've done for the club in the past. And I can see someone like Nigel Pearson getting the job till the end of the season. I really hope that doesn't happen. You can see it. You can see that happening.
I quite like
Do you know what I mean? You can see that happening. I just feel sorry. I really hope the board stick with Wilder. I really hope the board stick with him regardless of what happens. But for some reason, I don't think they will. I think West Ham are going to win this comfortably 2-0.
Right, okay, just for no reason whatsoever, Brewster brace. 2-1, the Blades.
Brewster brace.
Brewster brace and 4-0 score, please. Please, just get a goal or assist. I'll just say 2-1 Sheffield United to be different. I don't really believe it, but it's what it is. Right, okay, I don't think there's any other games of merit to discuss. So yeah, in fact, should we just quickly we'll just chuck Wolves and Southampton because I think that might be a decent game to be fair. Okay, just to finish off Wolves and Southampton, Kish, what are your thoughts?
Good game. I think really good game. I think it'll be 2-2. I think Che Adams for Southampton is starting to look like the player that they thought that they purchased last season. And I think he's going to come good with Danny Ings out injured for a bit.
All right, fair enough. Alex, what do you reckon?
Bit boring, but I'm also going 2-2. The only question is, I can't remember Southampton striker's name. Injured.
Che Adams. Oh, Ings.
Yeah, Ings. That's their only
Is he not
difficulty.
Injured?
He is.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
He's injured. Oh, right, I reckon. Right,
yeah,
okay,
so that's the only worry.
Fair enough, Daniel. What do you reckon?
Wolves win because Ings is injured. I think it'll be a 2-1 win.
All right, and Cody, last but not least.
Yep, I'm with Daniel. 2-1 Wolves.
Right, fuck you. I'm gonna say 4-3. Right, 4-3 to Wolves. Why not? That Neto guy, he's gonna be on a mad one if he's fit. Apparently, what's his name? Traore wants to leave, innit? Yet.
Yeah, that's good though. His value is going to drop massively this season.
Hopefully,
he's still got no end product. He can run, beat 10 man, and then will miss. Like literally, that's his problem.
Do you not think last season? Do you not think last season he showed a bit of consistency though at the end of last season?
The thing is, he did, but it's still the same problem with him. Like I don't see him going to a bigger side and then suddenly getting the end product that he needs. Like his problem wasn't that people give him chances and then he misses them. He actually makes the chance for himself and then misses it.
Yeah. Listen, you can't say nothing to him. He's doing all the hard work.
Like Heskey, innit?
Oh. And on that note, like Heskey, drop a like, subscribe to the channel when it's Heskey time, as KSI would say. Yeah, to show the boys love on their social. Just before we go, obviously, Daniel, do you want to shout yours out?
Eyes on the Ball TV and as shown on screen.
Yes. Gojo, same for you, my brother.
Yep, at Free Midfield on YouTube and all the audio socials, and of course Twitter.
Yes. Alex, what are you saying? Shout yourself out.
Just my name, my tag. Also, Kelly to Barnsley. That's all I'll say.
Oh, say the boy. Akish, any socials?
Yeah, Keishandu on Instagram and Twitter.
No worries. I will put all their links and their sort of tags in the description, so make sure you check them out. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel. What was I going to say? Just put your score prediction down below. Myself, Kojo, and the rest of the boys will be back with an in-depth Manchester United preview against West Brom. What a game. Unbelievable. Tomorrow at 8 p.m, so stay tuned for that, and you can see my tears live on the watch along. Peace.